Welcome back to the world premiere Word on the Streets. Today's episode is called Built Different. Trained like your future depends on it. Because the life you want isn't built on motivation, it's built on preparation. Athletes, soldiers, and CEOs don't wait for the moment, they train for it. They build discipline, structure, and mental toughness long before the opportunity shows up. And today, we're breaking down exactly how you can do the same. So sit back and let's get locked in to the world premiere Word on the Streets.
Greetings and welcome to the world premiere Word on the Streets. We're live every Thursday at 7:30 Central Standard Time. Don't miss out. After a week full of noise, constant confusion, and distraction, this is the show that cuts through the clutter. It's the hour of the week where real talk meets real truth. We bring conversations that challenge the status quo and stir something deeper in the soul. This isn't just commentary, it's clarity, purpose, and elevation. When you tune in, you're not just watching, you're waking up. A place where common sense still matters and lives. So, ladies and gentlemen, make no mistake, this is the world premiere Word on the Streets. And now, ladies and gentlemen, this is the moment we've all been waiting for. Put your hearts and hands together for the man who discovered his purpose and lives it loud, Larry Extraordinaire Moulton. And Mr. Gotta Get Your Mind Right and Open Your Eyes to the Blind Truth, the motivator himself, the amazing Keith Fletcher. And the man who brings clarity to chaos with the voice of reason you can't ignore, the one and only Mr. Vincent Craig. Make no mistake, there is no word without our host. Welcome to the movement. Welcome to the message. Welcome to the world premiere Word on the Streets.
And good evening, good evening, good evening. Good evening, everyone. Good evening. Welcome back to the show. Welcome to the world premiere Word on the Streets. Friends, we are so happy. We're so excited to be back on with you all. And thank y'all. Thank y'all very much for tuning in. If y'all tuned in with us last week, you know, friends, that we talked about equity is a mindset. And tonight, friends, we're going to dive into being built different. We're built different. You are built different. But before we dive into the show, friends, in case you don't know who we are, friends, let me take just a few moments to tell you about who we are, ladies and gentlemen. We have the one and only. This man here is a retired veteran, survivor of stage 4 cancer, a content creator, and you see him on Facebook 2 and 3 times a week, and he have his own YouTube channel called The Blind Truth. Ladies and gentlemen, show some love and give it up for the one and only, the amazing Mr. Keith Fletcher. And this next gentleman, friends, he brings reasons to chaos. This man is in the corporate world, and he specializes in team building. He's always giving back to his community. He takes his own personal time to be mentor to the young kids in the neighborhood, teaching them and showing them the right way to go. That's a special quality or special genuineness of a person like that. He brings reasons to chaos. And we're fortunate to have him. Ladies and gentlemen, show some love for the one and only Mr. Vincent Craig. And I am so wonderfully blessed to be on a platform with these two giants, and I am extraordinaire. And friends, we're about to get it on because we know how important time is. Time is one of those special commodities, and we can't risk fumbling the ball and just talking about anything and everything. So we want to be specific. And we're going to talk about being built different. And I got to tell you this, friends. Mr. Vincent Craig, as I said, he's working in the corporate world right now. After a long day of work, instead of going home like most people do and relaxing, he's on live right now, but his time is limited. He's only going to be with us for a short period of time this evening. So, with that being said, Mr. Craig is going to open up this platform and talk to us about what it means to be built different from his point of view. Talk to us, my brother.
Yeah, what's going on? What's going on, gentlemen? Just glad to be here. Again, sorry I'm going to have to cut out. Sorry I'm going to have to cut out here early, but I know that we're going to have enough substance during this conversation. Being built different, man, that's a great one. Uh, I'll tell you, like I tell everybody, I'm not for everybody. Uh, Me being, and people will argue with me when I say I'm an introvert, but I am. Uh, my energy, my space is important. My time is important. Who I spend my time with is important. And I think the older we get, I think we kind of appreciate that more and we don't take that for granted. When you say with the title of Train Like Your Future Depends on It, I was thinking about that quote and I had to pull it up because I forgot it. And it goes a little something like this. It says, where is it? Give me 1 second, team. It says it's better to be prepared for an opportunity and not have one than to have an opportunity and not be prepared. So when we talk about the title of, let me go back to the title of the show. Sorry
Build,
about that.
build
Just
different.
built different.
Train, yeah, train like
I
you
think
pen.
we're all built different because we all have a different fingerprint, right? That's where it all starts with. No one out there has the same fingerprint as anybody else, right? Even twins don't have the same fingerprint. There's a dynamic to that. Me being different, I was talking to my wife the other day, and we were just talking about how with our kids, we as parents want to protect our kids so much, but I think the expectation is we take how we were raised, and sometimes we want to have that adaptation to our children when it was the stress, struggles, and the adversity that helped make us. So right there, we're built different than our kids. Yes, we can pass on certain qualities and certain teachings and things of that nature, but our children weren't in the surroundings that we were in. Me, Keith, we're in Frisco area, right? We're out in Little Elm, right? We're in the suburbs, right? We didn't come up in the suburbs. So it's hard for sometimes you want kids to have a certain drive, but it's the drive from what we came from that made us not want to go back to where we came from. I don't want to say not go back, but we wanted to be better, right? And it was those stress and it was the struggles and it was all of that that helped shape and mold us, right? It was those hard times, right? Our kids don't have it hard like us. Let's just be real, right? We can punish them, we can take this away, we can try to put certain principles on it. But again, that's what helped shape and helped us to be different. And I'll stop right there and I'll let Keith go.
I agree with Vince that we are different from our kids. Um, I used to ponder what I how I grew up. Did it make a difference? You know what I'm saying? Did it make it better? For what I went through and all that, and the people I was around. You know, I later on I realized I disagree. I tell my son all the time. he different. You know, I'm built a different way. I got some scars and stuff that I went through that I had to bring with me. You know what I'm saying? Some of the things that I went through in life, you know what I'm saying, scarred me. You know what I'm saying? Some of the things tipped the scale for me. You know, I don't know if it made it better for me. You know, I don't. I'm gonna tell you, I don't think it does because now I see my son and the people, the quality of people here around. You know, like Vince. You know, coaching them, being around them. You know how Vince talking about. You see, he got a quote for everything. You know what I'm saying? And he's breaking down the quotes. You know, got another guy named Jay. You know, 30 years sergeant major in the military. Like he got a business. My son can call him. You know, and I can go on and on and on. You know, I had cousins and now I'm not gonna say his name, but if you gave him 2 seconds to talk to, he gonna scheme you out your pockets. He gonna be in your pocket trying to get over. You know, I thought I used to say, you know, he I used to say that made us better. I used to say that made me better, made me wiser, made me have to deal with this world. But my kids don't have to deal with that. They have a choice if they want to be around that. I had to be around that. I had no choice but to be around certain things that I saw, you know, but they don't. So, you know what I'm saying? We all built different. Now, to be built better and learn a better way to stay better, to stay in tune, to stay disciplined, have a responsibility. You know what I'm saying? I learned some responsibilities of how to be a father, how to be certain things too, but I can get that to my kids. So I'm saying being built better. I've been around, even being in this area, man. I got to meet some dudes that's some really serious dudes. There's some dudes that are in the NFL. I got to meet some dudes that played at high intensity, CEOs, you know, that I never met before until I came to where I met. Now I thought I had to learn like what it takes to be above average, what it takes, you know what I'm saying, to be built different. And first, for me, to get to that point, I had to give myself permission. I had
Mm,
to give myself permission to let
mm.
all that stuff go.
Give
I had to,
yourself permission.
oh yeah, I had to give myself permission to agree to say, hey, humble yourself. You know, where I'm from, we ain't humbling ourselves. I had to give myself permission to trust someone. You know, I didn't get that where I'm from. Couldn't trust too many people because they're gonna take over. You know what I'm saying? So I had to learn that. So to be built different in these days and where I grew up, or what environment I grew up in, was that what made me, you know what I'm saying, to be built different. Now I learned how to be above average, to be intense, to have that discipline, that responsibility, what it takes. And I try to pass it on to the next generation. You know, now I'm trying to be better at that. You know what I'm saying? Again, surrounding myself around those people I'm talking about, putting myself around a good environment. So being built is a lot in there, man. You know what I'm saying? We can't control how we grew up. You know, again, can't control how we start things, but we once we get to a point, you can't control how you finish. But for me, what being built different was to give myself permission to be built different. And then
Well,
I had,
let's dive in that, brothers. Let's talk about that because they're talking about your future depends on it. Being
mm-hmm,
built different, your future depends on it, man. You mentioned something. You said giving yourself permission. You got to give yourself permission. Why? Because your future depends on it. Let's dive. Let's slice this cake. Let's dive into this a little bit more. Talk to me, somebody.
No, it's funny when he says you got to give yourself permission because that's true.
Right.
I think sometimes we hold ourselves. I think sometimes we hold ourselves back, but then we look at the old us, and it's like we're so stuck on that mentality to where we do have to step
Yeah.
outside of ourselves in order
Say
to
that, bro.
get to the
Say
next
that.
level, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
we sabotage, we do the self sabotage, we do the guilt, we do the shame,
yeah,
and then we hang around people that keep bringing up the old past, and it's like, look, if like you got to stop bringing that up at some point.
Hey,
'Cause-
Vincent, it's like they
yeah,
don't want you to change, huh? It's like they
yeah,
want you to
yeah,
stay the same.
yeah. Like they say, it's always harder to convince a family member about faith because they just saw the old you and they don't see the new you. right? So when you say give yourself permission, I like that because
I
it's
like
like
that too.
even in my age, I'm still trying to give myself that same authority in like certain aspects of my life. It's funny because when I look at the title where it says train like your future depends on it, we come up in the era of train like your life depends on it. So I like the little, like, I mean, honestly, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So it's like when I saw that, I like that wordplay because our future is our life, right? So when we train like our future depends on it, again, coming up where we came up in, my mom made it extremely hard. She didn't want me to get comfortable, right?
Mm.
She forced one of my, I don't want to say forced, I'm going to share this little quick story. One of my uncles came to live with her when we were in, I think when we were in Austin, Texas for about 5 years, whenever she was going to UT in Austin. My uncle, he was a growing young man. Let's just say by the time he left my mom's house, he was like, he joined the Marines. He was like, your mom forced me to join the Marines because she made it so hard for me to like being in the position where I was at, staying with her
Wow.
and my mom's husband at the time. Right. So when we talk about future depends on it, life depends on it, and then putting the element of giving ourselves permission, like those are different stages, right? There's different stages of life where you have to be able to do that. So, step back.
I like what you just said before Fletcher, you jump in.
Wait,
So she made a comfortable situation uncomfortable so he can move forward in his life.
Correct.
Yeah, go ahead
Correct.
on, Fletcher.
yeah. But like I said, giving yourself permission, man. And like I said, that's a lot in telling that giving yourself permission because you got to tell yourself some of those things that you was taught and some of the things that you was told. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna say that's not true. And then you got to prove that it's not true. That's it right there. You got to prove that you're worthy. Prove that the thing that you saying you want to come out of it is it really true about what they saying about you.
Yeah.
Once you see yourself, you know, now it's looking in the mirror. You know what I'm saying? Now I got to say, okay, do I believe what they said, or I believe my future? I built a picture of my future. I don't want to now. Do I can believe that I can be that person, or
Mm,
you know what I'm saying? So
mm.
again, I done trained with guys in the NFL, man. I had this one guy you trained with, man. He was always by himself, but he had a way. He wanted to work out with somebody. He would have a way to get his friends or get somebody to come work out with him. You know what I'm saying? He was gonna get them that time to become better by saying something. Hey man, we're gonna go out. Oh yeah, we're gonna go out. Hey, but hey, meet me at the gym right quick. I'm gonna get this. Then he have before you know it, you in the gym working out with him. You know what I'm saying? Before you know it, you doing this with him. He had a way of persuading to get you to come. He
It's
didn't
good
want to be by
stuff.
himself and say so. And then to be at that level of training, you know, I remember I used to say, man, you know, he working me out.
He's breaking out.
Man,
Anyway, oh, there you go. All right, got back in. You had fallen off, but you
I got
back
it, man.
on.
I got it. Yeah, I saw it. Yeah. Go ahead.
So, friends, so what? So we're talking about being built different, and we went down this road about sometimes you have to be uncomfortable being different, and as we grow and evolve, we may come to some understanding that that person who we once was cannot go to where we are going because we're built different and where we're going changes the condition and what the goals we want. They just the parallel is two different platforms. That old person got me so far, but that as far as that old me can take me. And so now we're trying to move forward in our life. In fact, friends, Word on the Street community, we got an excellent blog, and we're gonna try to go down this blog because the next paragraph talk about how do elite people make this process in their life. So as an elite athlete, as an elite CEO personnel, as an elite person in their endeavor at their field, in their endeavors, do you think that they transform by being the same person they were when they were 19, 21, and now they're the CEO of a major corporation? Now they are NBA superstar, an NFL superstar. What what do they do? Let's talk. Let's talk about it, brothers.
Well, I go ahead and say this before we jump into that. And I was laughing because who was it? Key said that I'm what do you call it, full of quotes. So I'm gonna read this Bible verse real quick, where it says, "Therefore, if anyone is Second Corinthians 5:17, right? So we're talking about giving ourselves permission, and basically it's like a cocoon, right? We start off as like a cocoon, then we turn out to be a butterfly, right? But you got to go through that ugly period and that old phase, that ugly phase of your life. It's like growing an afro. We know once you start that afro, it's going to have that ugly period. And then in order for it to get like you really want it, it has to go through that maturation process. But at the end of it, it's going to be a beautiful thing. So it says Second Corinthians 5:17. Therefore, if anyone is in Christ, the new creation has come, the old has gone, the new is here. That's where I like to parallel that part about when you said we can't bring the old with us, right? Like
Right.
there's a stopping point and we have to leave it at the door some way because what's the old saying? If we if we keep looking in the rear view, we'll
Hmm.
never get to our destination, right? So
That's a good saying.
yeah. Man,
That's a
I
good,
forgot the question. Man,
yeah.
ask me
But
again, extraordinary.
that's okay. It's all in alignment about what how do elite people in their position, how do they transform? What is it that they do that we can possibly emulate so that we can also transform and live that life that we want, setting our goals, transforming
Gotcha.
to be.
Well, I'll
And
start off by this.
go right
I'll
ahead.
start off by this. If you ever read the autobiography of what I think who is it, Malcolm X, he has an excerpt in there, and I'm listening to the audiobook version because I've read the book, but I'm listening to the audiobook version. And I forgot there was a part in there where he says, if you have someone that's successful and you have y'all are doing the same thing, their secret success leaves secrets, right? So there's something that that person is more successful than you, but y'all are doing the exact same thing. There's something that you aren't doing that they are doing. So you got to figure out, and like sometimes you have to copycat people, and then you got to tweak it a little bit in order to get to where you need to go, right? There's a blueprint, right? You don't
Mhm.
just grow up and just become like, yeah, yeah, there are naturally gifted athletes, but at some point, like I told my youngest, I said at some point the people are going to pass you up because they're going to put in more work than you because you're naturally gifted. But if you don't continue to work on your craft, people are going to pass you up, right? And so I think sometimes what the great ones do is they continue to do like batting off the tee. You start
Mhm.
batting off the tee when you start playing t-ball at 3 and 4 years old. But if you go see the Texas Rangers right now, when they're in the bullpen and when they're practicing, yes, they're still taking fast pitches and slow pitches, but they're also hitting off that tee because they want to keep their form correct. Sometimes you have to continue to stay with the basics and how you got there, right? Yeah, you got the job, but what do you need to do to keep the job and excel at the job, right? You have to continue to challenge yourself. We have to continue to challenge ourselves and don't get complacent, right? And again,
Right.
there's nothing wrong with being comfortable, but it's like even as a supervisor, I understand on my team who's the worker bee, who's the star, who's the rock star. Everyone has a place, right? It doesn't mean one is better than the other one, but you know what you're going to get, but you still got to find a way to challenge all three in order to get them to grow.
And you know what? I noticed, Vincent and Fletcher, for anyone out there who don't know it, but man, I love me some NBA. And the thing that always spear my interest is that the most valuable players they say are the ones who get to the gym before anyone else. Michael
Kobe.
Jordan, Kobe, and
Mhm.
LeBron James. They are known to be three of the best of the best. And every reporter says that they are the first one to the gym and the last one to leave. Now you would think other people with other players would imitate that. They set the bar so high, so hard. But this is where when we talk about elite people leave clues, they leave blueprint, they leave what it took them to be consistent. Success leave clues. And it's not just
Yes,
in
sir.
NBA, but NBA is attracted to me. So these are the clues I get from watching and reading autobiography about these gentlemen. Go ahead on, Fletcher.
Man, am I cutting in and out on my internet? Because I don't know that
Well,
me or what.
you're 100% in now. You only had that one hiccup when you went offline.
Yeah. See right
Go
there.
right
That
ahead.
me. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. That
Yeah, it's freezing up
Oh, it
on
just
Keith.
went off again.
Yeah, his is kind of freezing up. Right when he said it, like it was
Right,
good,
right
but then it
when
like stopped.
right when
So,
he's getting ready to
but
go on. Go ahead on, Vincent.
yeah. Go ahead.
he nah,
Y'all go ahead. Yeah. Let me get. Yeah. Let me get this
yeah.
fixed.
So I like what you said, and I'm a big advocate of success leaves clues, right? And again, uh, some of your most successful people have copycatted off someone else, but then they just made it a little bit different for them to stand out and for them to offer, like in business, right? You
Hmm.
can have a food chain, one, two barbecue shops next to one another. They both serving barbecue, right? But
Right,
what's going to make the difference between one barbecue shack and another one? Is it the sauce? Is it how the meat is cooked? Is it the wood? Like there's different things, right? Oh, Keith
right.
just dropped off again. So,
Yes,
but for me, I'm an advocate on sometimes it's okay to copycat, right? Be original in a sense though and bring your own twist to it, right? I look at it, say like you might be in a neighborhood, you may say I had this next door neighbor, every time I do something they do something, every time I do something to my yard they do something to their yard, right? I paint this, they paint that. But again, guess what? Both of y'all's property value is going up. So you got to look at it like that, right? You have to learn to find the bright spot and not necessarily look at the complaint of what's going on. Yeah, you want to be original. But again, my property value is going up because guess what? They say the best form of flattery is what?
right. It's an
Is when you
imitation.
copy off somebody,
That's
right?
right,
So it's
imitation.
yeah, so it's like there's a lot of ways to like spin it and look at it, but you just got to be humble enough to understand it, right?
That's right.
So yes, sir.
Well, friends,
There you
we're going to take a small commercial break, but don't go anywhere unless you're going to text a friend, call a friend, and tell them, hey, you know what? You need to tune in to the world premiere Word on the Streets. Do that, friends, and don't go anywhere. We're going to take a small commercial break, and we'll be right back talking about being built different.
You do not want to miss next week's episode. Go ahead and mark it on your calendar now. We're coming back with identity over everything, becoming the person your future needs. This one cuts deep because it exposes a truth most people avoid. You can't build a new life with an old identity.
You can train, you can discipline yourself, you can upgrade your habits, but if your identity stays the same, your results will always snap back to who you believe you are. Next week, we're diving into the internal shift, the self-image upgrade, and the personal evolution required to step into the future you keep praying for.
If you've been carrying stress in your eyes, temples, or head, this is the upgrade your body has been begging for. The Therabody Smart Goggles use heat, compression, and vibration to melt tension in 15 minutes or less. And the wild part? It personalizes your relaxation by syncing to your heart rate. 3 custom treatments, full blackout comfort, and a design built for deep rest, at home or on the go. If you're ready for real relief, real calm, and real sleep, tap the link in the description and experience the smart goggles for yourself.
Lower your heart rate, raise your sleep quality, order the Therabody Smart Goggles and sleep better.
All right, family. Now it's time to go deeper. This is the moment where we peel back the layers, challenge old thinking, and get real about what's truly holding us back and what can finally push us forward. So grab your journals, lean in, and don't just listen, engage. And if something resonates with you tonight, do us a favor, subscribe, like, and share this message with someone who needs it, because the conversation we're having is bigger than us. This is the world premiere word on the streets. Let me jump in here for a moment, because this is where most people get it wrong. Everybody wants to be built different, but very few want to train different. See, the elite don't wait for the moment, they prepare for it. Athletes don't show up on game day hoping their body responds. Soldiers don't walk into missions hoping their mind stays calm. CEOs don't make million-dollar decisions hoping they're focused. They train for the moment long before the moment arrives. And that's what separates the average from the exceptional. Training is not about perfection, it's about preparation. It's about building a level of discipline that becomes automatic. It's about creating routines that protect your energy, sharpen your focus, and strengthen your resilience. When you train consistently, you build confidence. When you build confidence, you take better risks. And when you take better risks, you create better opportunities. So if you're listening right now thinking, where do I start? Start with one thing, one routine, one commitment, one promise you keep to yourself. Because the moment you start training like your future depends on it, your future starts responding. And that's when you realize you were built for more than you've been settling for. All right, let's bring it back. And listen, if that hit you, let us know. Keep those comments coming. Keep sharing your takeaways, because this conversation is bigger than motivation. It's about transformation. Now, let's get back into it and dive deeper into Built Different. Train like your future depends on it.
You're different. You're different. Train like your future depends on it. Because you know what, friends? Your future does depends on it. And we've been chopping it up. We're going to chop it up more, even more. So we're going to talk a little bit about training your body to strengthening your mind. Training your body. Now, both of these gentlemen y'all see on the screen right here, right now, these gentlemen, they love to work out. They love it. They love it a lot more than I do. But so we're going to talk about that. Fletcher, are you on, brother?
Yeah, I'm on. You can hear me well?
Yeah, talk to us about this thing, man.
I believe life's reward and action, not intelligence. So being active, go and do what you say you're gonna do, man. Moving forward, when I first started training, I didn't know everything. I didn't know all the fast trick muscles. I didn't know this. I didn't even have a routine. You know what I'm saying? I just said, I remember I told everyone I want to be a trainer. I'm gonna start training people. Before I had the certification, before I had all the or accolades, I just started doing it. I started going in, I started reading books, but I started training people. I would train people for free. I would talk to people for free. I would go talk to the trainers. I wanted it, so I started being active in that. So I didn't know what I was doing. And I remember a young lady told me what training was. I thought it was all about working out and making the muscles. And she said, when you become a trainer, you become a counselor. He said, anybody can get up and walk to the mailbox, walk, lift a weight, but to get them to do it consistently, to get them to believe that they can change, to get them to be responsible for their time and action. That's what it's about. So again, if I never went forward and did the action, I would never started. I would never met that trainer. I would never got that word. So the action is way more important than the intelligence to me. But then, once like Vince said, when you get to that point, to that level, then that's when you have to put some intelligence, put some expert to some reading, and start being, you know what I'm saying, to be an expert at it, to be to that next level, to be above average. That's when the education has to come. You know what I'm saying? That's when education had to be added to it. But before, it's just the action. Before, it's giving yourself permission, believing, and then being intentional and start moving into it. Action.
Fred, Vince, before you say something, I want to just share this because it's just so timely. Word on the street community. We hope y'all are beginning to see how all of these things are interconnected. You can set your goals. You can set your 3-year, 5-year goals. But if you reach your goal and your body is not healthy and you're sick, you're too sick to enjoy the fruit of your labor, what good is it? So this is why we're talking about this right now. This is why we're talking about being different. Training like your life depends on it because it's all interconnected. Go ahead on, Vincent.
No, I'm a big quote guy, as y'all know, and I used to. One of my good friends, he's an artist, and in my old house, when we first moved there, I had him to paint a mural inside of my boys' bedrooms. One was a guy who was one was a track person running across the finish line, and on that it said, "It ain't over until it's over." Another one, I had a baseball player. He had a bat, and he was like saying every expert was once a beginner. So I went back and I looked at the quote, "Every expert was once a beginner" by Rutherford B. Hayes. It says the quote reminds us that the mastery in any field begins with the humble beginnings and consistent effort. It emphasizes that no one starts as an expert. All skills are developed over time through learning and practice. I think that's something that we are all in agreement in, all three of us, right?
That's
Let's be
right.
real. I'm pretty sure when I first came on the show, I was raw. I was still trying to understand how the dynamics of the show work, how you
Right.
put the work in, Larry, to choose the topics, things like that. You and Keith talk offline prior to that, right? You can see the progress, right? Because we put the time in and we've got better over the last 6 months, right? I'm pretty
Right.
sure that when you and Keith first started the show, you look back at the first show and you be like, man, look at how much we've grown, right? But again, that's the practice. Those are the free throws that y'all been taking, right? Each show that we do, each show that we put in here, we're taking free throws, right? Sometimes we may miss it, sometimes we may hit all nothing but net, right? But you miss the shots that you don't take. So I went back to my gym, and again I have three quote signs up there. One is by the great Muhammad Ali. It says, "Champions are made from something they have deep inside them: a desire, a dream, and a vision." The second one says, "Winners don't wait for chances; they take them." And of course, this one says, "You miss all the shots that you don't take." Right? We
Right.
we have to purposefully put stuff in front of us in order for us to get better, right? Because what you feed your mind is what comes out of it, right? And again, it goes back to what Keith was saying. We got to give ourselves permission, right? So we are our biggest, yeah,
Yeah. I
we
think
are
that's the
some of
quote
our
of the day. I like that.
we are some of our biggest advocates, but we can also be our worst weakness, right? It all starts with us, and it goes back. And I'm gonna ride Keith here on saying, get your mind right, right? Everything starts from the mind and the heart. Those two are connected, right? So coming up as a kid, and I know Keith can attest to it, and you may too, Larry. You look in there and you be like, man, you see somebody across the field, you're like, man, that person got the it factor. That person got heart. You I grew up South Oak Cliff, right? You would see people squabbling and fighting all the time, right? One thing people say about me is I got heart. I didn't win all of them, I didn't lose all of them, but you're gonna know I was there, right?
Right.
So
Right.
again, it's the adversity and the things that we go through in life that help us to get better. I don't want to hog up all the time here, so I'm gonna
No.
let Keith talk.
That's real good, man. That was some good talk. That was some really good talk. I think Keith, you started the dinner off right when you talk when you said the words give yourself permission, and it's just so much in that can, man, that needs to be unscrewed and chopped up and served. Talk to us, brother.
But let me say, I said it earlier about Vince. He's gonna give you them quotes. You see that? Think of, I'm not saying to be funny, but
No, no, but
let me
that's
say this. Just think, like I'm saying, I call myself an ordinary person. When I first met Vince, he was saying all these things. You hear this, you're like, man, and he remember them. Now I don't remember none of those things. You know what I'm saying? But I know it it's in my heart. It's in my head. It's in the way I live. It's in my blood. But I can't say none of those quotes he said. I can't say none of those quotes. I remember when I was talking to the Most High, and he was telling me to speak, and I talk and speak who he is, and I was like, man, I don't know no scriptures. I have no idea. I can't remember the scriptures. I can remember stories, but a scripture or a quote, I can't. And I was beating myself up about it one day, and I was talking to my uncle, mentor of mine, and I was saying something to him, and I just started talking, and he was saying, nephew, that's scripture. And I said something else. He said, nephew, that's scripture. And I went there, then I talked to him, another one of my uncles one day, and I was saying something to him. He said, nephew, that's scripture. That's scripture. And then the next time I was talking to the pastor at the church, that mentored me and my wife's marriage, and I was talking to him about something. He was saying the same thing. Nephew, that's scripture. That's true. I mean, not nephew. So that's scripture. Not the
right.
reason I say this to people. You hear Vince rattle that stuff off, and you might not remember it, but you can feel those things. You can become those things. You can become that. Say, okay, I'm right from this day. I'm living that way. This day I'm getting up early in the morning. This
Right.
day I'm going to be there. I'm going to be responsible. You know what? I'm not. I'm gonna pay my bills off every month. I'm gonna pay my credit. I'm not gonna be late. I'm gonna get up in the morning at this time. I'm not gonna be late at work. I'm not gonna get with the people come. But you can start saying these things again. That's permission. That's what I mean by giving yourself permission. Now here, Vince, you might say, "Man, dang, he's so well equipped. He's so farther than me." No, just because he can say it and live it. But you can live it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's it right there, man. Having that
Right.
belief. He gets to those
Right.
things he said, but I've been around him for years, and I heard it. He always had a word. He always had a scripture, or he always had a mentor. And again, my kids get to hear that. Where I came from, I wasn't hearing those things. I wasn't hearing people saying these things. You might get a scripture, but to take that scripture, you have to break that thing down sometimes and say, what do that mean? But now to hear him say these things at that level, and then explain it to you, man, it's welcome. Now, how you choose
Right.
to use it, that's it.
And what we're saying, friends, you see, life is like a book. Some chapters sad. It's almost an imitation of the weather at the same time. It's a book. You might be reading a chapter where it's sad, It may be happy in one moment, but if you never turn the page, you may not ever find out what's on the next page. Similarly speaking as with your life. As Fletcher said, he may not be able to quote and say these things, but his life is those things. See, this is the point that we want to get to is the things we're talking about on this platform week in and week out. It lives inside of us. And if we can say it and share it with you, that's cool. But it's even more dynamic when we're living it and you see us and you say, wow, man, I want some of that. I got to get some of that. And some people walk around with that type of charisma. That's why we find ourselves attracted to certain people. They got a quality that I want. And you start digging. Where did she, where that came from? I want some of that. And it's almost like when you have a good conversation with a good friend, and it doesn't even matter if it's a relative, sometimes family. When I'm having a good conversation with Fletcher, or I'm having a good conversation with Vincent, it's like eating a good something that you just love, just tastes so good, you don't want it to end. And it's so good you can't get enough. You wanna call back and get some more of that.
Hmm.
Y'all ever had that experience? I'm by myself. Somebody talk to me, man. You know?
Well,
Yeah.
hey, I'm just to be respectful of the time, extraordinary. I'm gonna
It's that
exit, but
time.
before I exit, I'm gonna go ahead and say this.
Say
I
it.
like what we have, right? So when we talk about that, I look and I hear what Keith is saying when he's saying he can't remember that and this and that. Always remember this, Keith. Give yourself permission. You got to give yourself permission because those that say they can, those that say they can't. I'm gonna challenge you, right? Because I know you can do it. Not so the thing I like about us three is we're all three different. Even though me and Larry, there's a lot of similarities with me and you. I look at us as like a French braid and a cord. We all have our place, but each one of us have a separate audience that we can talk to that the other one can't. And again, there's some people that can relate to Keith more than they can relate to me. Some that can relate to me more than they can relate to the others. Some that can
Right,
relate to Larry. Right?
right,
We got to know our place and be comfortable with it, and be humble in it, and understand our place that we have set before us.
right. And with that, we're gonna let Vincent get out of here. I want
Okay.
to echo, hey Vincent, you put in a lot of golden nuggets tonight, my brother, and we thank you in the world premiere Word on the Street. Thank you as well, man. Take care of yourself.
Yeah.
All right, y'all have a good night.
You too.
And
All right.
on that, what Vincent was saying, I can attest to the second portion of what he was saying. You see, Fletcher carried his quality, and he thought I had so much going on, man. But let me tell you, Word on the Street community, I be listening to this brother just going. I mean, just working it, just talking so freely, so naturally, so seemed to me so comfortable, just talking about these innermost things inside of him. And I was so unable, I was so uncomfortable to do that. And I and I wanted to try to, man, how can I grow? How can I get to that point where I can allow my vulnerableness to be seen, to be heard, to be felt? And see, you can learn. This is why we say on this platform so often. You see who you surround yourself with, you end up picking up some of their characteristic, some of their ways. And on a positive note, I believe I have grown whereby I can now express myself in certain areas of my life where once upon a time I was unable to do so. And that growth came from being around the man you all see on the screen right there.
Thanks, man. But another thing I learned, Vince said that I will, I can. I know I can, but one thing I learned about it, I don't have to. You know what I'm saying? I don't
Mhm.
because I got him. Like I said, Mark Zuckerberg, he don't have a degree, but he got a whole bunch of people working for him got degrees.
Right.
So if I need to know,
And not only that, that's why I said the second part of what he said, because the
yeah,
first part, I would rather I would rather be it. So when you see me, you see it.
yeah,
And that's what you are. You don't have hey, you are it. You what is it? You it what I just read.
yeah.
Go ahead on, man.
No, man, no, but like I said, but when that Stornell, yeah, Rose Stornell, man, we get with the videos and setting up and all the things that he does. That's with him. You know what I'm saying? I can't do those things. I can't see. I can't, especially at the level he's doing it. So that's his role. Why would I interfere? Somebody say, hey, man, you got this, this, this. Hey, I sure do have someone. Let me call extraordinaire. Hey, I had a question about how you set up this or use this on a video. Hey, let me connect you to extraordinaire. Hey, I need some work done at my home. You know anything about it? I can refer you to someone else. And I might
Right.
not know how, you know what I'm saying, exactly what to do, but I know how it works and I know what quality is. So that's what it is right there, man. You don't have to know
They
everything.
call that resourceful.
Resources, yeah. But it's on there, I used to think I had to know everything before. And I think a lot of people think they got to have it all together. You don't
Yes.
have to have it all together, man. You
Yes.
don't. But you got to
Yeah.
have permission and you got to believe, man. And once you get in there, then you got to put action to it.
This is good. Go ahead on, man. That sounds good. Keep talking, brother. That's
You gotta
good.
have that action to it. But like I say, the education will come. I know when I first got in construction, I had no idea, man. I had no idea that people was doing the work that I was doing. I got there, but I had to present, like when somebody buy a home, I had to basically give a story about the home and what they're going, walkthroughs and show how everything worked. And this guy, man, his name is Chuck. I'm not gonna say it like that, but man, he was like a commercial, man. He was perfect, man. He could talk to him and flow. And I would be training under him, and I was terrible. I was terrible. I'm like, man, what am I doing wrong? He said, man, you gonna get together. And I remember one day he came to me. He said, I know the problem. Great mentor. I know the problem. I said, what is it? He said, you're trying to do it like I do it, Keith. You can't beat me. You got to do it your way. Your smiles, you know what I'm saying? How you put the story inside of that. How you like to joke. That's you, man. My way is my way. Do it your way, and then craft it. And that's what I did, and I became better at doing it, better at doing it. But at first, I was trying to think I had to have it all together like Chuck. Chuck been doing this for 5, 6 years. I come in trying to, and I just started doing my way, and I got better over time. I started better and relaxed and more speaking to people. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I think a lot of us do, man. We think we got to have it together, man. And you don't have to have it together. You don't have to get, but you got to give yourself permission, and you got to be willing, like you said. I'm gonna do whatever it takes to succeed. Like you said, success leave clues.
Yes.
I got a young lady. Let me tell you this story. Now, I got a young lady. I was just talking about this day before yesterday. Two ladies in my life that I know, and they are very above. They're very above average. And I was saying, being around them, like you said, both of them have the same thing. Like you really, I told her, I said, by being around y'all, I see the clues. I see them. Now, when I talk to my daughter, I can express that to her. I can guide her because I seen these two young ladies do it. For example,
Mhm.
the one young lady had to take a test, and she was taking a certification, and she went to take it and she was telling me, basically complaining. I laugh about it. She was saying, "Man, only 50% of people pass this test," and I'm looking like, "Wow." Then she started telling me other things about the test and how long it takes. She just started destroying to tell me all these research she had done about the test and with the time frame and all that. And she just said, "Man, this is crazy." So I was telling my wife, I say, she gonna pass that test. So later on, she came, she got the test. She even complained how long it was going to take for them to score the test. She just complained about everything. And when she sent it to me, the test came. She said it was going to take 2 weeks. The test became in 2 days. But anyway, when I spoke to her, I was telling her who looks up the test and see how many people pass? I say, do you know how many people would have looked at that test and said 50% people fail? They would stop right there.
Yeah.
Well, to stop right there, Stornell. Oh man, I'm not taking all the things she complained about. I've told her most people wouldn't even looked at those things. Most people would
Yeah.
look who scored the
That's
highest,
right.
what the highest mark was. She looked at and
That's
she
right.
scored one of the high one of the highest marks on taking the test. So all these things I'm saying, she was already prepared, but she was looking at those stats, looking at research. She was preparing herself for these things, putting action in, but she still went took it and passed it. So I'm
Because she was built different.
built different. That's what I'm saying. Built for the future. And it's already from there, it's already paying off. It's already paying off for her to see it. But so them the clues, I'm seeing these clues now. I can say I might not be at that high, but I can now pass that on to someone else. I'm
Right.
seeing the clues. I'm seeing the crumbs that they left. So now I can take that and guide my daughter with that. When I see that inside of her, I'm seeing that she has that. Now, how do I guide her to get to that person and what they at? To that level even better. I've seen the clues for it.
And this is also what you're saying, that when we talk about being built different and your future depends on it. So what you're saying, that you even take your own personal life and have it to become an extension
Yeah,
to your children life in your family. In other words, beyond you.
yeah. And
Talk to me, brother.
they see, hear, and touch you. You know, I want to say something right now. We want to help people so bad. We want to give our resources to people.
Yeah, yeah,
Again,
yeah,
what's the most important thing? We want to give our time to people. You know,
yes,
but the biggest impact we can pay on somebody is by how we act, by how they see us, how we act, they hear us, what we say, and they can touch us. You know what I'm saying? That's the
yeah,
biggest impact we can get on. That's what we say when our cup is full. Through all these things, when we make it through, watching us saying, imagine, man, look at my aunt, man, look at, man, Mr. Extraordinaire, Mr. Fletcher. I always seen them guys. They never fell off. They was always encouraged. There was always this. Man, they was always dressed nice, professional, speaking life into you. You see what I'm saying? Those things right there, man, that's what I want to be. I want to be around those type of guys. I want to be around. They know how they look. They feel it. They touch it. They hear it, and that's what we can give to each other, man. Give to somebody. So when I'm telling somebody, and people call me motivating or trying to get you to believe, give yourself permission to say, you know what, I can, I will. You know what I'm saying? Then I say, okay, now let's go ahead and believe it. Let's give yourself permission. Now let's forgive yourself for all the wrong things you did. Let's stop doing what them people said you wasn't gonna do. Let's go do it. We don't need to show them. Let's show yourself. They're not
right,
important. They,
yeah,
matter of fact, some of those things, are they true? Let's see if they're true. And if they are true, let's find a way to work out there and fix those things. See, them things they're telling you, that's another way to say, you know what, I am that. I need to fix that. That ain't going to make me better. So these things that you have empty, have full. Lack and abundance travel together. So to be that, let's look at the abundance. Be for the field to be, built for the future is looking for the abundance. Go ahead, Sean. Now,
now,
and you
now,
speak.
now look, brother, look,
Yeah,
that's something that you do religiously every day.
yeah,
And you get up early every day
yeah.
and you work out. I mention that because word on the street community, I want you to know that is a routine. See, routine. Keep that word in mind. And there's something that I talk about on my platform and on Word Premier Word on the Street all the time. And that is observe your thoughts, control your thoughts. That's your mentalness. These things we do, talk about, and live it religiously. Fletcher just said success leave clues. Now, Fletcher, why do you do that every day?
To be successful, my body, my work. Because I made an announcement to myself. I said I believe four pillars: spiritually, physically, mentally, and financially. You know, so I get up early because that's the time. And the other time, I got my wife, I got my kids. I'm distracted. So for me, that is my time for me to build me up, to guide me. So that's what I. And let me say this like Charnel too about getting up. Charnel said this to me years ago, and I heard it. Whatever you looking for is looking for you. I said I'm gonna get up early in the morning. I started getting up early in the morning. I said I'm gonna go to the gym. Now I'm blind. I can't drive. The weather changed. I can't walk in the dark. So while I'm doing these things, saying I want to do that, lo and behold, here comes somebody and say, "Hey, I'll pick you up every morning." Lo and behold, when she went there, somebody else came.
Right.
Somebody else came and say, "If she can't get you, I'll be there to get you then." You see,
And
whatever
that's
you
not, yeah, that's not pre-planned. That's just how it happened.
that's how it happened. Whatever you looking for, you said. But see, again, we think we got to be ready and have all our ducks in a row. You don't. And that's how the said all the time. The universe, that's how it works. Action. Now, reaction. So that's what I'm saying. Me getting up in the morning, and let me show you another. When I don't want to get up in the morning, I done made it. They called him. Hey, where you at? You know what I'm saying? I'm like, oh, I don't get it twisted. Every morning I'm waking up. Like, whoa,
Right.
I'm ready. No,
Right.
some morning I'm like, man, and they're like, hey, let's go. I'm be there about 10 minutes.
That's
Okay.
right.
Yeah,
That's right. The universe conspired to work in your behalf.
yes,
And,
yes,
and I love it too because and when Fletcher and I, when we became in this marriage together,
yep,
he was on this road feeding people how to fix and repair their credit. And he was given so much. And he and I, over a long period of time, we started talking about, I started sharing with him from my angle of personal development. And he understood because he was getting exhausted from feeding people the
yeah,
things that they can do to improve themselves financially. And he crossed that bridge. You give away all that information, but until his slogan, that mind is not transferred, it all becomes just nothing. Until we start transforming the way that we think about things, the way that we visualize things, then it just become a waste. We end up living the same life over and over and over again because we are unwilling to look at our thoughts
man,
and
clap,
notice these patterns, these same patterns you find yourself, those same old beliefs.
clap, clap.
Yes, pattern. Man, talk about that, bro. I want to just hear
Go on,
you.
man. You hit it. No, I'm saying you need to hit that clap button while you're talking. But go ahead, keep going. No,
No, man. Hey, family. Hey, Widow Street community. I am attracted to hearing this brother talk. So I wanted to set it up so he could feed me and feed you all. Go ahead on, brother.
no, that was said like again. So I'm getting up in the morning, like you said, so now I'm fighting those patterns. I'm fighting those ways that I don't easily slide back into my old ways. You know what I'm saying? Like I've been doing this, I've been being me, you know what I'm saying, longer than I've been being me now. You know what I'm saying? So it's so easy for me to
Easy.
slide. And I got some friends that are also that are my friends that they're not that way there. So it's so easy for them to say, come on, brother, let's go back and do this. So it's a lot entailed to that. So what you're saying, right? It's patterns that you're trying to prevent from coming back. You know what I'm saying? You can see them, but it's easy to slide into that and go forward because basically, again, you in faith. You're not seeing you went to the future, you went saw, you trying to come back, but
Yeah,
it's just you haven't really physically seen it, so
yeah.
it can be easily distracted. You can be easily distracted by that. You know, something
Mhm,
that get in your way, and you said you trying to figure something out. It might take you a couple of days, it might take you a week, might take you a month, and it comes
mhm.
frustrated that you're trying to figure it out, man. And then all of a sudden, somebody will come, and that'd be the person you need to give you to cross that, that threshold, to cross that mountain. You know what I'm saying? To get over that
Mhm.
hump. So that's what I'm saying. I'm getting up in the morning, telling myself, that, come on, it's gonna happen. Don't stop. All the distractions that be coming. Even getting on here. Me and Stronell talk about it all the time, man. To get on here and do this constantly, man, it can be exhausting. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Especially when I was doing like fixing people credit. Since Stronell brought it up, when I was,
right, right, right. Talk about that, brother.
I'm gonna
Talk,
tell you.
talk
Okay,
about how, yeah, yeah, go ahead on.
now let me say, I'm still educating myself. I got some guys I follow on TikTok, Man, these some bad dudes. These dudes, and they giving it. It's like it's when because I know about credit, so they're giving all the information free. All you got to do is put your phone on record and follow the steps. You know, I'm looking at one guy again. I took me a straw now. He had 500 people in his live. And I'm like, wow, man, he's telling you this. You know, this. It did reading the laws off, say this, get the letters, step by step. That I'm telling you, if you was at a 500, that he would shoot you up to a 700. Just listening to him on those steps right there. But and I'm saying, now I'm going back when I was doing it, I would be doing with people. I would sit down with people and I would do it. I'm showing them all this, doing all this, and the reason that I tell people I don't like doing credit because then that's when the slogan came out. I didn't even know it coming. Stronetta one told me. I said, man, you got to get your mind right. Because your mind got to be right to know where you're going with it. You got to know what you really want to do with this credit. Because again, I can give you this credit. It's like giving you a loaded gun. It can hurt you. It can hurt you worse than it hurt when you didn't have the knowledge. You know what I'm saying? Then I get you to this point here. Now you're good, but it can damage you more than hurt you if you're not knowing what you're going to do with how to use this gun, how to use that credit. And the power. It can be powerful or it can be harmful too. So that's what I'm saying. So that was what mean that I would see people go back to their old ways, their old habits.
That's the thing. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the
Yeah.
thing.
And then let me show you their mind would tell them, no, you don't understand. I had to do this, I had to do that. You didn't have to do anything. You know what I'm saying? But they would reason with themselves about the kids, about the bit, about anything to make it sound right. And you can't beat that. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, so with me just seeing these guys, some young guys that's doing it, and they got their own stuff, their own apps, and they telling you, man, and the guys laugh. He said, man, I done gave y'all the whole game, but y'all still gonna call me. Y'all still gonna want to make. And he said, listen, to call me and work, I'm gonna charge you. And then when I charge you, still gonna complain about the price. You know what I'm saying? And I understand what they're saying, but I had to learn over time. You got to meet people where they at. Them just not your customers. Not say they won't be your customer, but they not where they need to be at that. But just keep talking. And that's one thing I like about him. Every day they come on and they just keep talking. And they just keep talking. You know what I'm saying? So that's what it with our community, man. We got to just keep on talking, keep on giving, and tell the person, give yourself permission to say, I'm gonna give myself permission to listen to this guy and trust this guy and do what they say do. Let me try this out. That's it.
That's pretty good. And
Yeah.
I think too, Fletcher, when we put things in the context of the title of the show, Built Different, like your life depends on it. See,
Yeah.
something about that statement kind of just grab you when you say like your life depends on it, because in the final analysis, your life do depend on it.
Mhm.
Depend on whether you're going to stay the same where you are or you're going to move forward. You see, where you are probably not bad for some of you all who are tuned in, and for some of you all who are tuned in, it may be bad, it may be off, and you want to move forward. But until you start feeding yourself better information to change those old repeated patterns that we have going on in our head automatically,
Mm-hmm.
it could stay the same. And your life depends on it not staying the same. That child in front of you, your nephew, your nieces, that's somebody else. Man, they looking at you, they looking up to you, whether you know it or not, whether you want it or not. Your life depends on it, Word on the Street community. And here's the thing about it. Fletcher was being somewhat modest, but I remember vividly when he would tell me, man, he will pour himself, and y'all know how he is. He's very passionate. He's strong driven. But he and his wife will pour themselves into helping people improve their credit. And their life started moving forward for them. And 6 months later, they back at ground zero.
And they worse, way worse than they were. And
Way worse, yes.
yeah, yeah,
And you know what that does to somebody who's driven?
yeah.
And you see this from people over and over again. Man,
Yeah.
So this is serious what we're talking about tonight. Being built different doesn't mean you have to start out and be Superman.
No.
You can start right where you are, but be like what you heard before. You got to create something that you can stick to, and you're gonna stick to it whether anyone watching or not. Fletcher gets up every morning. He's not getting up for because he have an alarm and somebody calling him. Somebody no, he gets up because he realized he got to have a routine,
Habit. Yep.
a habit.
Be disciplined.
LeBron James got to have a habit. Steph Curry, all of these great people. You don't have to be LeBron James and Steph Curry to create a routine for yourself. Find something that fits who you are and where you are. What you say about that, my brother?
Yeah. And I want to say this too. Like you, the person that's doing this, you might think no one's watching.
Mm,
People's watch. Your nephew watching. And then you might want your spouse to watch. You might want your kids to watch. But it'd be the kid across the street. It'd be,
yeah, yeah.
it'd be,
Somebody
it'd
you don't even know.
be you know is watching you and seeing you and hearing what you're saying and it's carrying through that you didn't even know that was. So again, keep doing, keep pushing, keep going forward. But I'm serious, people are watching you, man, and they need that. And that's it's funny like that. And I done had people come up to me and say those things to me, and I'm like, wow, and I wasn't trying to pour into them. I was trying to pour into my own. You know what I'm saying? But again, if they see, they hear, and they touch you, man, you can make the difference. So somebody always watching you, man. And I'm telling you, and that you can start today. You don't have to say, man, well, I was drinking, I was this person back, man. Hey, forgive yourself. All of that stuff. All you gotta do is do yourself naked by stepping over the line. And like you say, be better, do better, and have better. Be better than yesterday so you can do more than yesterday so you can have more. That's what it is. Be fruitful, do multiply, and you will have dominion. So that's what it's about here, man, on that. So we give it to you, and I'm gonna say this to you. I know Vince. I'm gonna tell you another thing about what I saw with Vince. I seen Vince go. When we talk about divorce, we all been divorced, and I remember when he went through it and he kept the house. Most people that go through divorces on TV, you see them like just crash out. That old man, they just and to see that brother go there and take care of his boys, even after the divorce, didn't lose no momentum, no more. Now he probably did in the dark and cry like you say. But I'm saying for me watching him, I said, "Wow, man, he got the house. He still maintaining, and he kept fighting through it. And now he like I said, he had another level with it. He went to got another house. You know what I'm saying? So the brother's always working hard. I give him that. I might not agree with everything he does. You know what I'm saying? But again, he gonna be above average. He gonna always he built different for the future. Listen at him speak. He's very intense about things. He mean that, like I say, the quotes. I make jokes about the quotes, but he lived that too. He lived those quotes and things that he say. So I want to say this to him. I hope he look at the show. When we speak, we gotta believe. Like my kids, when I'm extraordinary, talk about this. If they see and hear that touch, and we believe what we're saying, they might not get it today. They might not get it next month. They might not get it 2 or 3 years from now. But I promise you, they will get it. And
Yeah,
I'm one of the kids that I always was talk to. I was hard headed. I was hard headed. And one day I heard it. When I heard it, it was like a light bulb came on. And all them things that was told to me, good thing that was told to me, I held on to them, and it helped me to where I'm at now. So let's hold on to the good things, man, and keep on pushing. And we keep on giving, and y'all keep on taking. And then you one day you'll get, then you'll be giving. And it's just like that, man. You take care of somebody generation. You know what I'm saying? That's it. That's what
right.
these words for. That's it.
Folks, as you all can tell, we're very passionate about what we talk about on this platform. And we're excited to come on every week, 7:30 Central Standard Time, with the world premiere Word on the Streets. And as we close tonight, we want to ask you one small favor. Please subscribe, hit like, and leave us a comment. Let us know what you like about the program. Give us a suggestion of some things you would like to have us explore and talk about. We call it word on the streets. We want to hear what's going on your street
Yes.
so we could talk about it, chop it up. We want to bring it alive from our perspective, from our life experience, and we welcome you to share from your perspective. We're sincere about what we talk about. We're sincere about what we do. And we thank you ever so much for tuning in with us every Thursday. And I want to say this also before we get off, Fletcher. I'm concerned. I looked in and I didn't see Selena out there. I saw La Diana. La Diana, thank you for showing up. I say that because they are so consistently in supporting us. And we are so ever grateful and appreciate them so very much.
Yeah.
So hopefully all is well. I don't know. Hopefully I get an update on hopefully some positive news. But anyway, friend, Fletcher, last word before we drive out of here.
Man, hey, again, give yourself permission to do it, man. And then once you get believe, you don't have to figure it out again. You don't have to have everything figured out. But what you looking for, I get it. And I hold on to this now. Thanks for there. Whatever you looking for is looking for you. When you stop, it stops. Hey, y'all have a good night, man.
And that wraps up another powerful episode of world premiere Word on the Streets. We're live every Thursday evening at 7:30 Central Standard Time, and we'd love to have you join us again. So take a moment to subscribe, tap that like button, and become part of this growing community. Until next time, guard your thoughts, speak only what you truly want to experience, and stay laser focused on what matters. Your words shape your world, and your mindset fuels your mission. We'll see you again. Same time, same place. Right here on World Premiere Word on the Streets, where truth meets transformation. Stay strong, stay grounded, and as always, stay true.